So we're here at Digital Media Wire Music. We got Ted Cohen.
Yes.
Tell us about your special relationship to DMW and how you fit into the whole picture here.
So I've been working with DMW at least 10 years. We're trying to figure out when the first time was, but it was at the Four Seasons in Beverly Hills. We had a breakfast and we had a little discussion group, and there were maybe 15 people in the room. And I've been basically collaborating with Ned ever since. Cool. It's been really good. Ned and Tinzar are great. It's not as, seriously, it's not as rock and roll as some events.
Yeah.
But the level of discussion it's more Charlie Rose. It's less Jerry Springer. I mean, I just came from SF Music Tech, San Francisco Music Tech. That's Jerry Springer. It's screw you, no, you're an idiot.
You're wrong, I'm right.
I'm right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is like a much higher level intellectual discussion.
Cool.
And the contrast, I did the same panel yesterday morning at 10:30 in San Francisco that I did this morning at 10:30 here in New York.
Yep.
The level of discourse was so much higher. Not because it was, it's just
I'm going to chalk that up to East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just turn it into that.
Okay. But it was really
we
good.
can give Ned credit, though, because that's...
No, I loved the discussion in San Francisco, but it was much more emotional.
Yeah.
This was much more intellectual,
Cool.
and they're both good.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed doing both, and people were like, "You have to go to everything?" And I went, "I like both sides of it. I like the cerebral side. I like the emotional side."
Yeah. So for people who don't know who you are, which is very few, tell us about TAG and get people up to speed.
So I got involved in digital unofficially in 1977. I met Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. They were walking around the electronics show in Chicago with an Apple I under their arm, going, "Hi, this is a personal computer. It's really going to be big." 5 years later, I'd gotten an Atari computer. I'd gotten a Commodore computer. I got called into a meeting at Warner Records, and they said, "We're starting a digital group to look at the eventual impact of the personal computer and the CD, which was coming out a year later."
Not a big deal, though.
Not a big deal. Yeah. You know, it had no effect on the industry. So we started talking about the possibilities. And so June of 82, I went into this meeting. So June of 83 started my 30th year. So June of 2013, I'm done. It's 30 years. I'll retire. It's all over.
So where are you retiring? I mean, what's the...
I'm handing it off to you.
Okay, perfect. So where do we have to go now? Seeing that from the evolution of the PC through some physical media that's digital and this and that. I mean, you talk about Web 2.0, semantic web, these next things coming. What's going on
anymore? The rights issue should be, you're launching a service. It's a 60-40 split. I really don't care what you do.
Yep.
You're like, it shouldn't be, well, you've got the play button over here, so that's 2%. You've got, it's just,
so what's happening?
Super serve the consumer.
What's happening to IP and the copyright then? I mean, obviously it's a huge question, but I mean...
People should get paid.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, people should get paid, but don't worry about the little nitty-gritty of what the service is. How does it serve the music fan? And how should the money be split up? And don't worry about, are they allowed to store it? Are they allowed to whatever? Let them do what they want to do.
It's all the same in the end.
Right.
So what advice do you have if we've got to pass the torch and move on now? What's the nugget of what are people going to be tattooing on their arms to remember for the next 10 years? I mean, where are we headed? Getting mixed up with people like Steve Jobs. Worry about the front of screen experience. Don't worry about the rights issues. Don't worry about the technology. Deal with the rights issues, and the technology is there. Worry about what is the interaction that you and I have with Rhapsody or Spotify or RDO or Daisy when it comes out. Or Slacker. There's a new Slacker offering that came out last week that launched in San Francisco. If it resonates with you, use it all the time, and artists will get paid. Are they getting paid the same thing they got paid before? No, but they're going to reach, instead of reaching 100,000 people, they're going to reach 100 million people. You know, Pandora is up to 190 million people. That's sick. We're an industry that used to get excited about selling 500,000 records. Now Pandora can reach 190 million people. So embrace that. Don't be scared of it. So then, how come? You know, I mean, general laws of economics. We're reaching more people for smaller transactions. Where's that threshold where we're going to finally catch up? Is the music industry ever going to have the same revenue numbers that it did.
I think it will. I believe it will. I've been very bullish on this for years.
Yeah.
Every year it's been getting actually a little bit better now. So I'm actually very optimistic about it. And if the per use, there's a guy named David Packman, who's a guy that used to be at, he had a service called MyPlay, which was the locker service 10 years ago, before the cloud.
Yep, exactly.
He was doing
Before
the cloud
Cohen,
10 years ago. And he said, stop worrying about per unit revenue, worry about mind share. Because you're losing mind share. People were starting at the time to stop caring about music. Get them in love with music again, and you will capture revenue. But worry about the mind share before you worry about the wallet share.
Yep. No, that's good advice. Cool. Ted at DMW Music, thanks for coming by. I appreciate it.
Good to be here.